Judiciary A to order. A little bit of business. We will be recessing at 2:44 because we're going on the floor at 2:45. And we will announce from the floor the recontinuation of the meeting. I'm not sure what time yet, but we'll announce that from the floor. And Miss Pat says, keep the packets in place where you are. All right, and then we will be skipping around. We will be skipping around on the agenda. So I want to call up first. Let me see. Yes.
I don't know if 16 would be available.
You don't like the cozy confines of room 409? Come on, Senator Simmons. Huh? You know, the closer we're together, the happier we are. If 216 is available, then yes, we can. It won't be. Well, we may end up being at 4:30 or something after that in 216. So that's why I wanted to advise it. We can't do that. So I want to go to House Bill 1607, Women's Bill of Rights. That's the one that recommitted on the floor. I will state that was a miscommunication between myself and Chairman Hood. It was really my misunderstanding. And so what you have is a strike all that simply has a reverse repealer in it. And this is what is essentially a definitions bill to the when we pass the SAFE Act. And so with that, I'll open it up to questions.
Oh, you need to adopt the strike all.
Right.
Motion to adopt strike all.
Motions to adopt the strike all in favor say aye. All opposed.
Title sufficient do pass strike all.
Motion title sufficient do pass the strike all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carry. Ayes carry. Thank you. Since we're on strike alls, I'm going to call up House Bill 1624. This is the Casa bill. Many of you are familiar with Casa, court appointed special advocate. I've received many comments on this bill. The strike all before you is putting a reverse repealer in this so we can keep it going. It needs, I told somebody it needs work, but CASA's provided an important function in our court systems. And so I also know that CPS has some issues with the language. And so what you have before you is the strike all that has a reverse repealer in it. And open it up to any questions. I have a motion motion is to adopt the strike all. All in favor say aye. All opposed.
Title sufficient do pass strike all.
Motion is title sufficient do pass strike all. All in favor say aye. All opposed. Okay. Good. All right. Let's see. I'll say this. Let's see. I'll go to House Bill 822 and call that up. So what that is, you have a strike all before you. It's doing two things. It's a combination of two bills. One is pursuant to the Mississippi Supreme Court ruling. It's repealing the temporary judgeships in Hinds County that we put there. And then it is stating that the Chief Justice may appoint two judges in the CCID. And that's what the strike all is doing. So I'll open up to any questions. Motion is adopt the strike all. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Ayes have it. And so now the motion is title sufficient do pass strike all. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Ayes have it. Okay, Senator Williams. It's my guess we may take up your bill at the next one. So you're welcome to wait or,
You're sure I'll go back.
huh?
I'll go back.
That's why I was,
Cozy in here.
I know, that's why I was. So,
Thank you.
okay, all right. So I want to take up at this time, I'm going to call up House Bill 722 Judicial Districts, which I'm sure everybody has an interest in. So you have before you the strike all. So you're going to have two things. Okay. Ben, our peer person, our peer guru is here. Let me say this. I want to, before we have copies for this. Okay. While they're passing things out, I want to say this, that a lot of work has been put into this. I appreciate the hard work of Ethan and Ben at Peer, and also individual committee members. As Pro Tem Kirby knows, it's not an easy process. And I hope everybody hears me when I say this. Everybody, just please, I encourage you, just take a breath. When you look at the plan, just digest it. I think that once everybody looks at the plan, that there's a lot of good things here. And I will state off the top of this, there is a reverse repealer in it. So it is expected that there will be changes in the House. I've had communications with Chairman Horan, but the intent is that we get somewhere. It would be my intent that we do all of this session, but the intent is to get our judicial districts lined up based on the data, based on regional differences or regional, I guess, similarities, and make it such that our citizens have an efficient and a good working judicial system. I can tell you that I've heard that that's what they want. And I think practitioners and others feel the same way. So as we discussed, and I will say this, I will go over the map, but what you have is you have the strike all to the House bill, and you have the maps that reflect the strike all. Now, thank you. And you have the chart prepared by Ethan. Now, the House the House bill that was sent over to us, all they did was code sections, and they added four judges for DeSoto County. They added 4 total judges for DeSoto County. That's what they did. That's all that was in their plan. So this is where we our strike all to that. And I can tell you that in initial conversations, things seem to be very positive. I want to point out this chart right here. Okay. So in addition to the reverse repealer that's in the bill, what this chart shows is under current law, we have in the circuit court, we have 55 total judges. Okay. The strike all before you results in 54 total judges in circuit court. In chancery court, we have 52 total judges, and the strike all before you results in 55 total chancellors. So we're a net +2 of judges. And I see the appropriations chairman here. At this, what I will remind everybody is that's at least $200,000 per judge. And so that we are committing to for the long term. So at this stage of the game, we are +2 in judges in the state of Mississippi. And then the chart that's on here is broken down as you see current law versus the strike all. I will also state that I don't have the exact percentage, but one of the goals that we attempted, and I will state that I think this has been a long-term goal from when even, I guess, Senator Hobson was in this position and others, and that was to try to line up our chancery and circuit courts. At this, in the strike all, what you have is, I think it's somewhere between 80 and 85% of all the judicial districts in the strike all are aligned in the, between the chancery and the circuit courts. So in other words, the same counties that are in circuit are the same counties that are in chancery. Another factor, and hold me to the specifics, is this plan does not become effective until 2026, correct?
January 1st, 2027.
January 1st, 2027. Okay, January 1st, 2027, which is when the next judicial elections take place. And that means that if we,
They'll be elected the fall of 26.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. We're elected, we always think about when we run, so.
They'll be running.
They'll be running in 26. The districts take effect in January of 2027. So if we end up passing this bill, it becomes effective July 1st of this year. That is 18 months before any, so that people know what the districts look like and for which they will be running. Now, it's DA part of this. Okay. I think it's important to note that your DAs, because, and this is something that Ethan pointed out to me late last night, your DAs are connected to your circuit courts. In Mississippi, we love to stagger our elections. And so that means your judges don't run at the same time as your DAs. So as it stands before you right now, thank you. Section 81 of the strike all. So basically,
It's 5.
okay, so the next election would be to stand for a 5-year term for DA. Okay, so that we can get them lined up. If you look at section, what is that?
81.
81. Okay, to get those lined up. I wanted to go back to the chart, and if it was unclear, I'll state it. We had in the circuit, we had 55 total, which mean, and 54 total now, which means there's one district out of all of them that end up, I guess, going away. Okay. Do that. So in terms of numbers, what's in your strike all, the district numbers have been renumbered. And so let's see. That's why you have in different ones, you don't have a 23 or right.
22.
Or 22. Okay. And so then on the chancery side, you're having 3 additional judges or chancellors added. Let's see. Yeah. Now, just to also hit some highlights of the map, and then I'll open it up for questions. I'll start, I will start in the corners. So in District 1, that's on your strike all, the chancery and circuits lines up, and the senators, committee members worked through that plan, and I appreciate the work that they did. I think it reflects where we are. And I should note it at this point. When we looked at the data, a lot of districts, if you recall, had a lot of deviations. So for example, the first district, and I use that as an example, had upwards of 200 and something thousand people.
One quick question, still before you begin with the discussion. I know the public is trying to follow along with the actual thing. And based on this QR code, it's the big one.
I just got the note from IT. You may need to refresh your browser and then go back to the document. It should be the new document.
Thank you. No, that's good. So if you look at when we did the joint meeting, we had the caseload and the population and the data broken down. I'm using District 1 as an example. It was very weighted and had almost close to 100% above the actual number. You can go back and you look on your packet here, And if you look at the numbers associated with that, then we certainly are closer on those numbers. These numbers are representing the plan, right? Then, okay. So you also had a lot of districts that were significantly under the deviation or under the average number due to the population, particularly in Southwest Mississippi and parts of the Delta. Okay. So if you look at the information that's in the packet, what you will see is that as a general rule, we've gotten closer to the numbers that we had laid out previously. So you don't have, in essence, a district that has 100% over the deviation. Okay. Some of them may be 55 or something like that. We're trying to get closer across the board. So if you look at one of the other things that we've also done is it was a working rule of the committee to eliminate, if at all possible, single judge, single districts. Okay. That's the old ones.
Not Chancery. Yeah.
Huh?
2,
Okay.
15, and 19.
So in Chancery 2, 15, and 19, I've used this as an example. In the circuit court, Jones County was a single judge circuit district, one judge. For various reasons, that causes issues, and you have that. Also, based on the data, there were places that honestly could not justify, let's say, two judges. Okay, so we had to work on the maps, and that's where I go to like what you see on your map, Chancery District number 17, that actually every district has a minimum of 2 judges except for one, right?
Every Chancery now does, except for the 21st Circuit.
Every Chancery district has at least 2 chancellors, and every circuit district has at least 2 circuit judges except for one district. Okay, and that's due to the numbers and all. So in places that you had one district, you now got additional, in the Chancery case, you got an additional chancellor. I will also state, and this pertains to my own local area. So your biggest counties, we did receive, and thanks to, I guess it was Senator DeBar, we received population counts from April of 2020 to July of 2023. So since the last census. Not surprisingly, your biggest counties are DeSoto, Madison, and Rankin. In essence, we know we're DeSoto because that's a single county district. And as I told you, they sent over 4 judges. In our plan. 3. Right. In our plan, we have 3 and 3 chancellors, 3 just for DeSoto County, and 3 circuit judges. In the 4th most populous county of the populations count is Jackson County. That's gained 3,016 people since April of 2020. And so they're behind DeSoto, DeSoto, Madison, and Rankin. And so the new 16th is Jackson County, not gaining a judge, but they're keeping the same judges, anticipating the population growth that we have on that. Also in your packet, surprisingly, there was, speaking of that district, the only one on the books was a statute that Jackson County had to pay 80% of the funds of the court system for George and Greene County. In your strike call, that's being repealed. Let's see, what else am I missing on that? Is that good? All right. I think that's a good introduction, and be happy to answer questions from members. Senator Simmons.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was looking at the circuit court plan. And currently, the 4th circuit is the circuit in which I have 1 DA, and that circuit currently has LaFleur, Washington, and Sunflower counties. And according to the plan, and we have 4 circuit court judges. And according to the plan, it appears that the Fourth Circuit will change to the 11th Circuit,
That's correct.
and an additional 3 counties have been added, but we also losing a judge.
No, the 11th had 3 judges.
But we currently have 4 judges.
Those 4
In the
judges
plan.
are,
But the actual, in the strike all, we will add counties, change the district from the 4th district to the 11th district, and then we will also lose one of our judicial posts. Is that correct?
between the.
Okay. I'll let me say this first about that. So there are, and I haven't talked about it, but there are what's called sub-districts and residency requirements that we heard about, okay? The reality is throughout the Delta, there is a lot of sub-districts, okay? We can see, but as this plan stands, we have certain sub-districts, but they're not all where they were, okay? The reality is you can have a African-American judge elected in those places. Okay. Also, we have in your packet in certain places the sub districts, like for example, one of the intent in the new what's known as the 18th now, the plan is a sub district for George and Greene County. Okay, so that gets a little difficult and a little confusing, but and then I'm going to get to your question. The old one. So DeSoto County went to there.
So Mr. Chairman,
Okay, so
so currently in the Delta, on the west side of the Delta going up the river, we have currently the 9th Circuit, which has 3 judges that will cover Bolivar, Coahoma, Tunica, and then we have the 4th Circuit, which covers more of the central part of the Delta, Washington, LaFleur, and Sunflower. And the total number of judges for the 9th Circuit, we have 3 judges. For the 4th Circuit, we have 4 judges. So that's a total, Mr. Chairman, of 7 judges. And not that race should matter, but it's important because I've gotten a call from each one of my judges. Out of those 7 judges, 3 of those judges are white and 4 of them are black. And as I understand it, with the proposal, we will take those 2 circuits and combine them into one and reduce 7 judges to 3. That's my understanding of the plan. Am I correct?
I'm going to let Ethan. I'll defer to Ethan on that question.
The only clarification, the only clarification I've got to that is instead of the 9th, it's the 4th collapsed into the 11th. So it's 3 judges in the current 11th, 4 judges in the current 4th, and those 4 judges are gone in the current 4th. So it's 3 judges in the current 11th. It's the 9th was not affected.
And let me add that I appreciate, and I think we've all been over this of what the judges say, but we have the population issues and we have the caseload issues. And as I said during our joint committee meeting, there are judges who have an 80 caseload and there are judges who have a 14 or 1500 caseload. Unfortunately, some of those were in the Delta, and there's no blame to go around. It's what the numbers show. And so when I think Pro Tem Kirby can attest to this, when you're doing a redistricting process, it's where the numbers are. And so if what you're saying you're losing 7 or whatever, we've had to combine because that's where these issues are on that. It goes without saying, but all our circuit and chancery judges get paid the same. We don't do it based on population like we do, let's say, sheriffs or somebody else like that. So that's where we are. Okay, any other questions? Have a motion to adopt the strike all? Motion is to adopt the strike all. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? The motion carries. Now we're on the bill motion to, do I have a motion to adopt? Strike all, right? Oh, title sufficient, do pass. Motion is title sufficient, do pass the strike all. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much. And Ben, like he said, it's online, the map's online, people can look at that. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer. Some of this can be done on an individual basis just because it can get confusing. Okay, with that, right, 722. Well, we don't have that. All right. I'd like to call up in block, House Bill 1315 and 1316. Okay, if you go to those, that is, oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. The motion is that we take these up in block, and that these are both Chairman Hood's bills dealing with the MyKids system. So
So moved.
the motion is that we take them up in block. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? That carries. Thank you very much. If you look at 1315, that is requiring an audit of the MyKids. And if you look at 1316, that is requiring a pet competitive bidding. If you recall, even from the task force of the youth court, I guess that we set up last year, the partial report came out that the MyKids system has a lot of issues, particularly the data going in and all that. I know that Chairman Hood has some very serious concerns about MyKids. And so what this is doing is allowing for an audit to be done and then to look at and see if there's another, I guess, vendor that we can go out there. Yes. So that's the presentation, and Senator Boyd.
Last year, there's supposed to be another system that's in development right now. And over a year ago, this was kind of 18 months away. Where is that system?
I have no idea, which may be why Chairman Hood has brought this forward.
And I've got, so
What is it?
so we're asking for an audit. Who's gonna do this audit for the system?
Look at, good question. AOC, yeah, line 72.
There's a strike all for 1315. You want me to explain the strike all?
Yeah, please do.
The strike all, the House brought forward some other code sections, and the strike all just keeps section 1 of House Bill 1315.
No, but it would be a proper motion if that's the motion.
Basically being developed and to how these offers grades to the end. I think definitely want to make sure you work understand the parts of this.
Senator Boyd, I just need a reverse repealer for the strike all on 1315. There's a reverse repealer in 1316.
You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Yeah. So, do I have a motion to adopt the strike all as amended? Motion so moved. All in favor, say aye. Okay, that carries. And then title sufficient, do pass, strike all.
So moved.
That's moved too. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you very much on that one. Okay, considering where we are going to recess to the floor. Need a motion for that? Okay, motion to recess. Thank you.
So, is the election for DA? Says 5 pictures.
We're not cutting our term short, we're just in 2027.
Oh, don't worry about it. You know, not like- I know. All else was right. Serious. Absolutely right.
Keep me informed.